Hi, welcome back to All About the Alternative. I'm the Gadget Lady, and welcome to my Purim special. I'm going to give a little bit of information about what Purim is and give a little bit of story. And it's also the first official full day of spring, and it's, as it is Canada, it's snowing outside. It's the usual thing to do, right? So I have a view of flurries out there. Oh well, this is Canada. It snows every chance it gets. But we actually had really nice weather. Actually, we had spring and some spring weather, and now it's just right back into winter again. And so I guess that's the way it goes. I give a shout out as well to anyone who's Armenian for yesterday, as it was their New Year's. I apologize. This is the first chance I've had to actually get to this video, which I planned to do, but just didn't get a chance to do it till today. And Purim actually starts tomorrow, which is usually a fasting time as well. But then you have the celebratory Purim, which is actually on Sunday. And that's actually, it's referred to, a lot of people actually refer to it as the Jewish Mardi Gras or Halloween of sorts. So you can be the judge on that. Basically, they party, and it's just we celebrate that that we're free. And someone once said to me as well that one of the things about Jewish holidays is it's usually centered around the fact that we were oppressed, that we weren't allowed to show our religion, and we weren't allowed to participate in anything of our religion and show anything. And suddenly we had war, and we overcame, and we won, and let's eat something and celebrate it. And so many Jewish holidays do center around that, and this is definitely one of them. And it's very much the party holiday. And what it basically was, um, in many ways, um, our, uh, our history is basically, we have the Torah, which is very congruent to the Bible. It's very similar to the Bible, which they actually are the same thing if you really want to look at it that way. And I look at, there's a couple of different supplemental books that that are a part of the Jewish religion as well. And Book of Esther is one of them, which is the story for Purim. And it's basically based on, there was a king. I hope I'm, I like to know I'm pronouncing it correctly, but his name is King Ahasuerus, and he had his wife, Queen Vashti, and she was executed for not following his orders. And he went out and he decided to find a new wife. And so he looked among his people and among the people of his area, and he came across this girl that he was infatuated with, and she became his queen, and her name was Esther. And without telling him, she didn't tell him that she was Jewish, about any of her nationality and any of her beliefs. And because at the time, the Jewish people were being oppressed, and they were not looked on as favorable in the community. A very common theme, isn't it? One of the prime ministers was named Haman, and he was appointed as the prime minister of the empire, in the kingdom. And one of the other leaders was Mordecai, and he was the leader of the Jews. He's very significant as well because he was also Esther's cousin. I've heard it referred to as that she was his niece, but that's actually not the case, because according to the way the actual story reads, that it's Mordecai's uncle. It's Esther is his daughter, and so by that way, it's actually Mordecai would be cousin, not uncle to her. But so there was a defiance with Haman, and between Haman and Mordecai, and Haman made a plan to kill all of the Jews and to oppress everything And so the plan was to kill all of the Jews of the area. And so, and Haman made this known, and he chose a date that is actually what we celebrate Purim as, um, because that's the day that was supposed to have been the day they would have killed all of the Jews. And Mordecai overheard this, and he went to Esther and told her of what the plan was. And fearful of that all of her people would be killed, she went to her husband and said, well, let's have a feast and get everybody together. And she revealed to her husband to the king, that she was a Jew, and that his prime minister, Haman, had planned to kill all of her people. And of course, the king was very sympathetic to his wife, to Esther, and of course did not want that at all. That was not his way. So he had Haman executed, and he gave the powers of Haman to Mordecai. And that's the basic story, actually. That is really the biggest thing of the story. When you do hear this story being told, and you didn't wander into the Sherry Lewis lamb chop story, and I'm not telling every little piece of it, but every time you hear the word Haman, you're supposed to raise a ruckus and noise, and what we use is called Gregors, and they're little noisemakers, and you're supposed to say Haman and oh, and all of the noise and everything that you're supposed to say, and make a lot of noise, stamp your feet, and you can have some bells and other things. And in the synagogue, they actually read it, and it's called the Megillah, actually, is what this story is actually referred to as. And so you go into the synagogue and you hear this story, and everybody does that, and the kids really have a good time with it as well, because it's a party. So everybody is involved, family, all parts of the family is involved. And like I said, it's like a Jewish Mardi Gras or Halloween, because everybody just dresses up and just has a really good time with it. And so, but I refer to it a lot of times. I actually think of the fact that I watch some of the other YouTubers that, they have a rabbi, and they have pastors and ex-ministers, or actual ministers, and they're tooting their horn on the whole idea of being, of their religion, and their religion is best, and that. And I think of Esther, the Book of Esther, and I think here's a story from way back when that says we should be getting along. We should all be doing everything together and helping each other, and instead of killing each other off. And so, of course, comes down to that whole bit of, we won, and they tried to oppress us and tell us we were not good enough, and we were not the right ones for whatever reason. And so, they tried to oppress us. We won. Let's eat something and party. And that's all it basically is. I know I've said it already like that, but that's basically what it is. Purim is a very special holiday. Not everybody celebrates it. I think some people bypass it in some ways, but if you're, there's a lot of people that today still get into every part of it, and that's what they do. And there's another thing we also have is called a Hamantaschen, which is based on Haman's name, which is a cookie or a pastry. That's usually a triangle pastry. I'll put a picture of it up for you as well. And you can buy them in Jewish bakeries. A lot of people bake them themselves. The traditional way to have it is actually with a poppy seed mixture inside the pastry. But other people do different things. They actually have like jams or jellies, other marmalades or things like that. Or I've seen honey actually used as well, depending on what your needs are and what you'd like. But the traditional one is actually with a poppy seed mixture. And hopefully that gives a little bit of information about what Purim is. And we celebrate it this weekend. So Hag Purim Haveh, and to all who are celebrating, and to all of those who are celebrating the first day of spring, happy spring, and also to those that were celebrating yesterday the Armenian New Year, happy Armenian New Year. I don't know the exact thing to say. I was just told that that was what it was, and I like learning about new cultures and new areas of the world and things that I wasn't aware of, and so that's something just totally brand new to me. So maybe some more on that another time as well, as I learn more about that from some people that I've recently gotten to know. So hopefully that gives a little bit of information on Purim for you, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Miracles happen every day.